Mobile gaming has a huge problem. Touch controls. They're clunky, they block half of your screen, and they're the fastest way to get a hand cramp. But this is the GameSir G8 Plus, and it is an MFi Type-C mobile controller, and it doesn't just work, it actually turns your phone into a handheld console. And thanks to my friends at GameSir for sending this unit over for review, we're going to show it off. Now that means we're not just talking about phones anymore because this is the Plus model. We're talking about iPads, tablets, and even PC as well as phones. I've been putting this through its paces with some of my favorite games on the Xbox app, and honestly, this might be one of the things that gets me back into playing games on my phone again. It's just so cool, and it feels so nice. Before we get into the tech, let's look at what's actually in the box. GameSir doesn't just throw the controller at you and call it a day. They give you some customization. When you open this up, you're greeted with the G8 Plus itself, but you also get 3 different set of thumbsticks. And then you can customize them to whatever feels best for you. You can see them here. There's one taller one slightly shorter one, the 2 standard ones, and then you get the one with these like little circles on them. I don't know. Whatever feels good for you, you just use it, and then maybe it will make you better at video games. And you can flop them on the left or the right, whatever works best for you. One thing I noticed immediately is the weight. At 304 grams, it has some heft to it that just screams quality, and it feels like a piece of equipment, not a toy. Even the Type-C connector is on a pivot, which is a massive win. If you've ever been worried about snapping the port on your $1,000 phone while trying to wiggle it into a controller, this pivot solves that. It's a small detail, but it shows we're actually listening to gamers. Let's talk about the build. The G8 Plus has an amazing console-grade feel, and it just fits in your hands super nice. It's large, ergonomic, and it feels like holding a full-size Xbox controller. The textured grips are super comfy, providing that stability you need when things get intense in a shootout or if you're just absolutely panicking in your favorite horror game. Here is the big hardware upgrade: Hall effect technology. The joysticks and the triggers use non-contact magnetic sensors. That means 0 stick drift and a lifespan of up to 5 million cycles. For a mobile controller, that's insane durability. Now let's talk about features that actually affect your gameplay. First, vibration settings. The G8 Plus features dual asymmetric motors that you can actually turn up or down for the left and right side individually, which is very cool, especially if one hand has a harder time feeling the feedback than the other. You can just adjust them and go with what works best for you. If you're playing a horror game or a shooter, that haptic feedback adds a whole new layer of immersion that touchscreens they just can't touch. The customization here is top tier. The magnetic faceplates are detachable. You can swap the thumbstick caps to fit your preference, as we showed earlier. And you can just, do whatever you need to do. You can actually swap out the little rubber grips as well. So if you have a thicker phone or a thinner phone, you can swap out these pieces and make sure everything fits in there nice and snug so it doesn't fall out. You can even physically swap the A, B, X, Y buttons. So if you're moving from an Xbox layout to another layout, you can just pop out the buttons and move them around to whatever makes sense for the games that you're playing. No more confusing prompts. On the back, you got 2 remappable buttons, and I like setting these to either like a reload or a sprint or some other button, so it makes it so I never have to take my thumbs off the sticks during a heated moment. But I can't do this controller justice without covering the app. This is where you fine-tune your G8 by adjusting your joystick settings and the rocker dead zones, the anti-dead zones, and also your button settings. You can even test out your controller and make sure that all the buttons are responding as they should. You can even check out a list of compatible games right in the app. Definitely nice to have that level of control to allow you to fine-tune the controller and check out some games and poke around in the shop if you'd like. I mentioned this getting me back into mobile gaming, specifically through the Xbox app. I've been testing games like Forza and Halo, and this is where the G8 Plus proves its worth. In Forza, those Hall effect triggers are everything because they are analog. You can actually feather the gas and you can feel the nuance, which is always nice to have. And for the survival fans, I tried out Grounded. Now, there's original Grounded, not Grounded 2, but I jumped in there and being able to map the back buttons to like inventory and block and just to kind of mess around with them, it made combat feel that much more responsive. When you're playing these Play Anywhere titles, you forget that you're looking at a phone screen because the input feels identical to sitting on your couch with the Series X controller or, Series S, it doesn't matter. But it's just like playing Xbox. It's crazy. Compatibility-wise, this thing is a beast. The bridge extends all the way to 215 millimeters. That's wide enough to fit an iPad mini or a similar-sized Android tablet. This unit is incredibly versatile. It's built for iOS, but it works flawlessly with Android and PC. Now, it's not Bluetooth, so you have to plug it in, but you can just plug it in with a USB-C cable, and you can just play like you would any other controller on your PC. So what's the final verdict? If you want one controller that can handle your phone, your tablet, or PC gaming, the GameSir G8 Plus with MFi is the one to beat. It bridges the gap between mobile gaming and console gaming and makes playing Xbox Play Anywhere titles, or whatever else you might be into, that much more accessible. If you found this review helpful, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more tech and gaming content. And let me know in the comments, have you tried out any of the GameSir controllers yet? Do you have any other recommendations we should take a look at and cover? Please let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you soon.